Hey guys, it's Alice again and welcome to another video. I have decided to do a university Q&A today because I know you guys love them, and obviously because I'm at university now and I vlog my university life over on my vlog channel. By the way, if you aren't following that, go and subscribe. And a lot of you ask me questions, so I like to kind of compile them in one into one big Q&A. So make sure you're following my Twitter if you missed out on asking me any questions this time, and don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. Let's get going. How did you decide which uni you wanted to go to? Well, my decision to go to university was very spontaneous. I have spoken about this before, but if you do want me to do a little video about that, please do let me know. But in short, I decided basically overnight that I wanted to go to university. I was 20 at the time and I had taken 2 years out after sixth form. I didn't go to university straight away and I wanted something different in my life, and my friend gave me the kick up the bum needed, and I knew someone who was currently at Lincoln University, so he kind of invited me down, showed me around a little bit, and then I applied that night. I literally didn't look at any other universities, and at this point it was like the 23rd of August or something crazy, so I actually started uni like 2 weeks after I decided to go. So yeah, I chose Lincoln because I'd heard good things about it from my friend and I trusted his opinion, and I just wanted a change, and when I came to visit Lincoln Uni it just felt right. So I feel like that's something that a lot of people get when you go and visit a uni and it just feels right. I'd go for your gut instinct. I didn't go to uni because I don't like pot noodles. Is it true people survive on them? I mean, I'm sure some people do, but it's all down to personal preference. I know tight budgets and stuff make it a necessity to need to survive on noodles, but I always managed to have a nice meal. My parents always made sure I had a food shop in, and yeah, I think it's a personal choice whether you want to survive on noodles or not. I'm starting uni in September and I'm real bad at talking to new people. Do they do icebreakers in the first lessons? Yes, I actually had, like, when we first started in first year, we had a whole week dedicated to getting used to the uni and meeting people and kind of mixing with your course mates. So we had like a whole week to do that. I'm not sure if every university does that, but mine did, and I'm sure it's quite a common practice. But if not, when you go into your lectures, generally people don't really speak to each other in lectures, but it's when you start getting put into seminar groups when you kind of mingle a little bit. And there is always the awkward question of introduce yourself and say, tell me a fun fact about yourself, like tell me where you're from. And I always, like, the most interesting fact about me is probably that I do YouTube. Like, I'm not a very interesting person, so I didn't want to introduce myself as the YouTuber. I didn't want to be that person, so I always like said I liked Disney or something. So I'd just be like, hi, I'm Alice, I'm from Doncaster, I like Disney. And then you usually get put into groups and it is awkward. Like, without a doubt, it's awkward at first. Like, everyone's like, oh, this is awkward, but everyone is in the same situation, and after a while you realise that everyone feels exactly the same, and I'm exactly the same. I hate talking to new people. I'm not the person who will go and initiate a conversation, but once I've kind of like broke the ice and started a conversation, or someone has started one with me, it's a lot easier, and the tutors do help with that. The tutors obviously know that you're in that situation, so don't worry about it. Is it hard being away from your family for long periods of time? I'd say yes. Obviously this differs between person to person. I mean, like, the people who live in my house with me don't really go home very often at all. They probably go home like twice a semester or none at all, and I'm totally different to that. Right from first year I used to go home every weekend, mainly because I missed my family and because I didn't have the best situation in my first year flat. But I think it was because I wasn't 100% down for even going to uni. 2 months prior, I hadn't mentally prepared myself to be living alone, so I think going home for me was a little like reassurance that my family was still there. However, this year I'm going home nowhere near as much as I was last year, and I actually really like it. I'm getting a lot used to spending time away from my family. Obviously I still miss them, but I make sure I call my mum every day and she kind of like updates the whole family for me. And yeah, I know they're always there and we've got Messenger and stuff, so I do miss them, and it is difficult at first and it does take a lot to get used to, but I never ever thought I could spend like more than 3 weeks away from my family without going insane. But now I'm doing it and it really doesn't bother me that much. Like, I do sometimes want a hug from my mum, but I've made such nice friends here at uni. They become like your own little adopted family, so that's really nice. Is it worth going to university? Well, I am not sure I can answer that question right now, but I feel like it is what you make it. Like, university is a lot of money, and I've ranted about this recently on my vlog channel, and I think it is overpriced, but I don't regret coming. As much as it annoys me of how much I've paid for it, I feel like it has been worth it because I've grown as a person and I've made amazing friends. And I'd definitely say, as much as the degree counts to a great career and a future job, I'm still not 100% sure on what career I want to do. I mean, ideally I'd love to carry on doing YouTube, so if that could sustain me one day, that would be amazing. University for me is a little bit of a backup plan, so we'll see when I graduate whether I need to go and get a graduate job, and whether the university helps me get that. At the end of the day, it is what you make it, but I feel like the experience is the main part of university. Unless you like becoming a doctor or a lawyer or something, then it's more important. But for me, I think the experience has been worth it. Is the accommodation nice, and is it really pricey? Well, yes. In first year, student accommodation is so expensive, and it seems to be the general theme that student accommodation is super expensive. Generally, when you go into a house, it is a lot cheaper, and just by chance, I ended up moving into this house, which is my friend's dad's house, so our rent is like a lot lower than general. But next year I'm going into just a general student house, so my rent's going up a little bit, so it does change and differ. I mean, our rent now is £70 a week, which is super cheap. Next year it's like £90 a week, but in first year it was like 113, and then when I moved in my studio flat it was like 120. So yeah, it differs a lot, but I think there's budgets out there for everyone. So sometimes you have to make a little bit of a sacrifice on how nice the accommodation is, but if that's what your budget can take, that's what you got to do. So yeah, I didn't pick the most cheap accommodation in the first year, but I didn't really have much choice because I applied so late. How do you manage to balance social life, sleep, uni, work, cooking and chores whilst at uni? Well, I actually read this out to my friends and we all laughed and said we don't, because really I don't really know how I manage it. I am a very organised person. I've done a video on how to stay organised if you need a little tip, but I'm quite organised, but I feel like it's about prioritising what you need to do and not giving yourself a hard time if you do want to go out, which is what I used to do first year. I used to not really go out and socialise too much because I am socially awkward and I hadn't made like a solid group of friends yet, so I didn't go out as much, and I used to give myself such a hard time if I didn't do like work for the entire day. But at the end of the day, you're never going to experience anything like uni again, so I've learned that yes, I can take some time out, and as long as I'm doing work alongside having fun, then I can manage. As for cooking, it kind of becomes easy. I don't know, like it depends what kind of meals you cook, but I cook like really fast, quick student meals that are nice. So that's kind of easy. The one thing that annoys me is doing my washing, like my clothes washing. It's so annoying. I'm like currently in a big pile of dirty laundry and it takes me forever. It's like a full day's chore of doing washing. Like, I did not appreciate how hard it was to do washing until I had to do my own. If you hadn't have gone to Lincoln Uni, where else would you have gone? I really don't think I would have gone to university at all. I was so against it for so many years and it was such a spontaneous thing for me to do. I feel like I probably wouldn't have gone, and because I came here on a recommendation of a friend, I trusted it a little bit more. So that's probably why. I did originally look at Sheffield because it is a lot closer to my hometown, but I don't know, I don't really have the same feelings about Sheffield as I do about when I first came to Lincoln. So I really don't think I would have ended up at uni at all. I'd probably still be in a job that I didn't like. I'd still be doing YouTube, but I feel like I wouldn't have had the same experience. So yeah, I'm glad I chose Lincoln. Any advice to people who are unsure about going to uni? I'd say if you're unsure, don't go. Don't feel pressured to go. Me, Hannah and Molly talked about this in a recent Raw Wednesday video, but if you aren't sure, honestly, it is not worth spending the money and time and stress trying to find a university if you don't really know if you want to go. I wasn't sure. When I was 18 and when all my friends were applying to uni as we were leaving sixth form, I kind of got forced by my school to apply, so I applied for Leeds University. I applied to do cinema and photography because at the time I really enjoyed photography, and I ended up not going. I kind of deferred the place, which basically means I put it on hold for a year, and then a year went by and I still didn't want to go, so I ended up just declining it. And I'm so glad I didn't feel that pressure and like bow down to that peer pressure that I was, well, it wasn't really peer pressure, it was like mainly the adults and my school around me trying to like encourage me to go, whereas that's just not what I wanted to do. I wasn't ready at the time. If I had have gone, I would have probably dropped out, I would probably have hated it and never ended up going to university ever again, whereas I managed to have 2 years kind of building myself up, building my confidence and learning what I did actually enjoy. So I'd say take it at your own pace, don't feel pressured if you're not sure, and don't feel bad for not going, because there's so many people who haven't been to uni or waited to go to uni like I did and they're doing fine, so I'm sure you will do too. Last question is, what's your favourite thing about being at uni? I really enjoy two things actually, so I'm kind of cheating, but the independence and the friendships, and I feel like this was something that I had to get used to. It took a long time for me to be used to looking after myself and dealing with life as an adult, because obviously I grow up with my parents and it's really different, but the independence is really nice. I notice it a lot more when I go home. I notice how independent I've become when I have to go and live with my parents again. And the friendships are just amazing. I feel like I have been through some drama with friendships at uni and it has been a little bit crappy, but like the people who are gonna last as a, I don't know, last the time test as a friendship, I feel like the friendships that you make at uni are a lot stronger because everyone's going through so much, everyone's like looking after themselves, and your friends become like your little mini family. So I feel like the friendships that you do make here are so much stronger than the kind of friendships that you got at school, because at school you were kind of just forced to be in the same classroom with someone for 5 years, whereas at university you have to make like a physical conscious effort to like be friends and remain friends with someone, which I think is really nice and I like it a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little university Q&A. Let me know if you'd like me to do another one similar like this down below. I'd love to hear what you thought about this one. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Goodbye!